Good evening, Doug. Could you explain to us why Hopewell Chin'ono was denied bail yet again?
So the reasoning that the magistrate gave for denying him bail on this round was that there were no new facts placed before the court. Now, this is because this is an application made for bail based on changed circumstances. The two main changed circumstances which were placed before the court. One was the fact that the 31st of July has now come and passed. No violent demonstrations took place on that day. Now, the significance of that is that that was the sole reason that bail was denied in the first time he applied for bail. That was totally ignored by the court, and the court came up with the new argument to say that no, it wasn't about the 31st, it was about the objective of removing ZANU-PF from government, which is not evidence that was ever led before the court. The second ground raised was the COVID-19 conditions at Chikurubi Maximum Security Prison and the failure of prison services to comply with WHO guidelines. Hopewell is packed in a cell that is designed for 12 people, but has 42 people in that cell. None of those people have face masks. He is the only awaiting trial prisoner in that cell. Everyone else in that cell is a convicted criminal, and there's no soap. There's just basically no compliance with health regulations, and so these were the facts we placed before the court. The court said they were not new facts, and so dismissed the application.
So what do you do now?
So the next step now is that we have to appeal to the High Court again. That appeal is already prepared. We were anticipating that this would be the likely outcome. And so that appeal has been prepared and will be filed tomorrow.
You know, on Friday we heard about the murder of MDC Alliance official Lavender Chiwaya. We also heard about the arrest of the party's vice chairman, and I think there was another arrest today. Are matters escalating, or have these incidents been occurring at this pace for the last few months?
Look, things have been escalating for some time now. The level of state repression has been growing and growing for some time. We've particularly seen the state crossing lines, going after lawyers, doctors, journalists, nurses, which you know is a significant escalation from the past. But yes, I think in the past few days, or the past few weeks at least, we have seen a dramatic escalation. The murder of Lavender Chiwaya is extremely concerning. In terms of that escalation, that people are not just being arrested, abducted, tortured, but actually brutally murdered, which is very concerning.
Absolutely. And could you update us on where things are at with Beatrice Mtetwa? Of course, she was pulled off Hopewell's case for scandalizing the court. If you could tell us what is happening. I know that there's growing international concern about her, but of course you yourself were in court last week, so if you could update us on that, where things are at for both of you.
Yeah, so Beatrice has been removed from this case, and that order is now being interpreted by prison officials to say that she can't even visit Hopewell in prison, which is a completely erroneous interpretation of that court order, which relates only to her making presentations in leading argument before the court in this particular case. So that is being challenged. As for my own case, so Beatrice was representing me last week with my own criminal trial. We were discharged at the close of the state case. Basically, the state failed to make out any case against us. We had been charged with almost the same offence as Hopewell, participating in a gathering with intent to promote public violence, simply for being found in possession of a book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire, which the state said was evidence that we were organizing civil disobedience across the country, but failed to provide any evidence or link any evidence of that allegation. Not that civil disobedience is unlawful, but that aside, they totally failed to provide any evidence. So thankfully, I have now been discharged. So one of the cases against me is behind me. I do have another one which is coming before the courts in January, and I am one of many lawyers who is being prosecuted before the courts simply for doing my job. In the other case, I was arrested simply for acting as a lawyer for a trade union. So this is really the reality in Zimbabwe, is that no one is spared. Everyone can potentially face the wrath of this authoritarian regime, even if you're just trying to do your job.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. We really do appreciate it.